Well, hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 210 already of our BU 365-day challenge. This month we're focusing on the area of contribution. And today's topic is one that is now near and dear to my heart, but it wasn't always that way. When I came and grew up, I always say I grew up in corporate America because as children we learn a lot of things. As students we learn a lot of things. We go to grade school, we go to high school, we go to college, we learn all kinds of things, right? But then we graduate and we go into the world of work. And the world of work, each different business industry has its own culture. And as such, we get indoctrinated into that culture, depending on who we surround ourselves with, etc. will have an impact on us. But it's very different, the world of work and business, than what we learned in school and what we learned in as just being a human being. And some of those experiences, some of those cultures are awesome and very developing and terrific for us. Others, not so much. One of the things that I learned in corporate America, and that we did in corporate America, which was a lot like school, was every year we had an annual review. And part of that annual review usually entailed creating a personal development plan. Now that was generally focused on what was wrong with you according to your boss and that you needed to improve in. And I took that and flipped it on its head and I said, what are you doing well? What are your strengths? And let's build on them. And we built on people's strengths, and I did my best after my first couple of experiences with performance reviews and personal development plans to change that system, to turn it on its head and make it a positive event for people, at least the people that reported to me. And guess what? We got a lot better results by focusing on what people are good at and their strengths instead of focusing on what they weren't good at. So my whole take on personal development plans is you want to create and make it something that feels good and works for you. So I'm going to share our card first today because I picked a card for today. And then I'm going to share contribution area is a new, it's not a new area for me, but it's a new area for me to be more intentional in, to set a framework for. And as part of the SOAP framework this time, mine was to set up a nonprofit organization that donates and supports causes that are important to me and the people that I serve. So that, of course, is part of my longer term goal, but I'll talk about that in a minute. Our card today is about my future isn't about my past. Life is only about now. And we always need this reminder. I don't know about you, but I need this reminder on a regular basis that I need to be present and focus on the now. Often I'm learning and studying and reading and growing when I'm not interacting with other human beings and doing things that always keep me busy. So I'm using those to create and think about my future. But I have to remember, just like everybody else, to stop, take a deep breath, smell the roses, look around me for all the beautiful things that are happening right now in my life. The back says, nothing that has ever happened has anything to do with now, unless in my now I continue to think about and speak about it. So, how many of us have ever had something happen in our past, or something that is happening currently reminds us of something in our past, so we start thinking about it over and over and over again, and we replay that past event, usually it's a negative one, 1,000 times in our mind, and then we start talking about it and telling people about it and telling them how we feel about it, and we bring that past event that we thought we had already released and we're over right back into our present moment. And instead of enjoying our present moment and starting over and creating what we want, we're reliving that event over and over and over again. So many traumatic and bad things that happen in our life are really short and small periods of time. You get in an accident, maybe it's, the accident itself is, seconds. The recovery might be years, but even after we fully recovered from that accident, something can trigger our fear of that and that remind us of that recovery and how hard it was. And then we're right back in it and we're bringing back all those feelings that weren't positive or good for us, right? So we want to remember to, when we're thinking about something from the past, take the positive lesson out of it and only think about that. Don't think about all the emotions and all the trauma and all the drama that came with it. Because what's the value of bringing that into your now? I don't think there's much value to it, unless it motivates us to take immediate action. And it says, fresh new thoughts today will always give me a fresh new experience. And who doesn't want new experiences all the time? So that's our card today. And I really like it because stuff's been happening around me and in my life, not my personal life, but people I love and care about, that reminds me that we need to just focus on today as a brand new start and let the past be the past. And will the past resolve itself? Sometimes yes, sometimes no, but we can't let that ruin our today. So our action item today is, of course, to create our own contribution related personal development plan. And mine, I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do, because you have to decide what you want to do and what that means to you. We can look at what we've done well in the area of contribution and move forward and continue to do that and make that part of our plan, or we can start from scratch. And I am starting from scratch in this area, and so I am going to do 3 levels to my plan. One is my big, hairy, audacious goal for this area and aspect of my life. And that is, of course, something I started in the SOAP framework, creating that nonprofit foundation or organization that supports the groups that I and the people I love and care about, so that we can continue to make the world a better place. So that's my long-term, big, hairy, audacious goal. Secondly, I am going to set a more short-term, I call it a short-term goal. What am I going to do and accomplish in the area of contribution by the end of this year? And we're in the middle of the year, so that's a pretty short-term goal. I say anything less than a year is a short-term goal. Anything longer than a year is a long-term goal. And anything that's like 5, 10, 20 years, I call those legacy goals. If it's 20 years out, and it's my goal for 20 years out, I call that a legacy goal. So that's my big, hairy, audacious goals. My short-term goals would be, what am I going to accomplish by the end of the year? And finally, I'm going to set a daily show-up goal for how I am intending to show up every day so that I can take action on that. What can I do? A little thing every day to make the world a better place. A little thing every day to be more myself, because that sets the example for the rest of the world. A little thing every day that I will do that will then become automatic and a habit that moves me toward my end of the year short-term goal and my big, hairy, audacious goal. So that's what I'm doing. You can decide what you're going to do. Our challenge today is just to set up what is and you are going to set up what is your contribution area personal development plan. What are you going to do? And maybe there's other areas of your life that are super high priority, so you're going to say, I'm going to do what I can every day to be the best version of myself, and that is my plan for contribution this year. Or, till I get A, B, and C, different areas and aspects of my life that are a much higher priority, taken care of. And my experience with studying and researching and looking into contribution this month and focusing on that has taught me that is especially what the position that a lot of people are in right now. COVID has devastated millions and millions of people's lives and upended them, and millions and millions of people are dealing with the ramifications and the changes of that, and the changes in other areas and aspects of life. Millions of people are always dealing with individual changes, but the COVID pandemic has been a global impactor, and I think for decades to come we're going to see the both positive and negative implications and results that have come out of that and the way it was handled. All right, if I can help you anyway, ask if you're struggling with any part of creating your own personal development plan. We've talked about this for several months now, and we've approached it slightly differently, just like we do the SOAP framework every month, to give you different ways of picking and choosing what works best for you. For me, for this area, big, hairy, audacious goal, short-term goal, daily, what can I do to make the world a better place? That's what I'm doing. So you decide what you're going to do. You can just write done in the comments below when you do it, or you can share anything that you want from doing this exercise. All right, have an awesome day. If I can help you, please ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow.